Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan, and we'll be going through the first of our official lore videos, finally. We'll be starting things off with a race which obviously I've shown a lot of bias for, the vampire counts. Specifically, this video will detail on pre-vampire Sylvania, all the build-up, what happened before that, and why Sylvania was a really fucked up human province before the turn. A lot of Warhammer Fantasy players might think that Sylvania only started getting weird when the von Carsteins moved in. However, that's not the case, with the people already being quite superstitious and fearful of new technology such as gunpowder. The people of Sylvania also are the worst in the Empire for believing stereotypes such as that the dwarves drown cats and the halflings eat each other. Mind you, considering that the halflings are always hungry, I kinda believe that too. Who knows what happens there in the moot. However, the Sylvanians do have their own version of a delicacy, if you can call it that, called sweet pork. Now, sweet pork is what they call human flesh. They've kinda adapted. And I guess in a land where food is not very common, hey, you do what you have to do to survive, don't you? Suffice to say, it is not this what makes the Sylvanians weird, but is that they have been so accustomed to harsh winters killing their crops, the chaos raids, the orc raids, and so much more, that they've started adopting a bit of a outlaw lifestyle, with lots of thieves, murderers, rapists, and so on living in Sylvania, and being a part of its normal populace. It is why I say that the vampires merely just added something new to the Sylvanian borders, and didn't really change much. Considering even then that even the ruling families of Sylvania before the von Carsteins were not too all there. For example, the ruling family before the von Carsteins took over were the von Drack family. The von Drack family being the reason why the von Carsteins came in. As the Mad Count, Otto von Drack married off his daughter Isabella von Drack to Vlad von Carstein. Isabella then becoming the famous Isabella von Carstein. Otto himself being such a complete and utter moron that he was not respected by his people. He was indeed feared, as he had a tendency of sticking their heads on stakes for any reason, pretty much just because he could have been bored. But he was such a pompous idiot that when he would get drunk, he would call himself Sigmar Reborn, and was so against his brother ruling Sylvania after his passing that he quite happily married off his daughter to the mysterious Vlad, who came out of absolutely nowhere. I mean, with a ruler like that, you can understand why, once again I'm stating, the people of Sylvania are completely batshit insane. And with such provincial instability, why Vlad had such an easy way in and was able to quickly take over with no hassle whatsoever. It is important to note, however, that whilst Otto did marry Isabella off to Vlad von Carstein, there are a few factors towards that. One, he had no idea Vlad was a vampire. And two, no other noble in the Empire wanted to inherit Sylvania. Who would want to govern over a land that was filled with beasts that were always killing people, soil that would not grow crops, and its own local populace which was eating each other, killing each other, stealing from each other, and just being completely chaotic whilst not even worshipping the chaos gods? A common misconception is that Vlad brought in the undead to Sylvania, but it's not actually the case. A few hundred years before Mr. von Carstein decided to set foot into the lands, an eruption of warpstone arrived, hit the land quite hard, and started making the dead come back and start reliving their old lives, but in a different way. Rather than becoming murderers, rapists, and thieves, they just decided to cannibalize and eat and feed and feed and feed. The undead started becoming a massive problem, which just added another aspect to Sylvanian life, because once again, the Sylvanians just saw that as something else, nothing end of the world worthy. Like I said before, for a people who are so used to nothing but shit happening to them, nothing really phases them anymore. And with this, my friends, I believe I have discussed the reign of the humans in Sylvania for way too long, even though it's just been about 5 minutes. Mainly because nobody really gives a shit about the humans in Sylvania. Why would we bother talking for half an hour about humans when we could actually talk about the interesting parts of Sylvania? The vampires taking over, and all the little happenings when they do. Because next video we'll be discussing the reign of Vlad von Carstein and how Sylvania fell. So thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like, a comment or subscribe, as it really helps the channel out. Thank you very much, and until next time.